I am excited about this evening and having a chat with a good friend who I met in 2018 on a trip to Honduras. His name is Job Gámez. He is a top-notch guy, a real great guy. He's a family man, he's a Christian, and he's also very smart. Most students in Central America, Honduras specifically, don't graduate. So it's only the select few, that maybe 1% of students, that will go all through school and graduate from college. And Job is one of those people. He won a full ride scholarship, and he graduated as a forestry engineer in Honduras. And for those of you that don't know, it's a country of varied geography, and there's a lot of forests and a lot of farming operations going on. So Job is married. He met his wife Adria many years ago. She came to Honduras as an agricultural missionary, and Job is in the agricultural field. And they got together, and I have to think though that there was more than just agriculture involved there. I think there had to be some chemistry involved. But in any case, Job married Adria about 6 years ago, and they have a lovely daughter, Elizabeth. And in addition to Job's current work, working with local Honduran farmers, providing agricultural education, we are very honored, very pleased that he has been working with us since 20. I'm really excited about chatting with you for 30 minutes or so.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It is just a privilege. Everything in my life, it has been a blessing, and I'm just a recipient of the blessings of the Lord, and I'm just so thankful to be here with you all tonight. And yeah, I'm so thrilled that introduction, but all what God has let us accomplish is because He has put in His will and His power in us. So thank you.
Okay. Joe, many of us in North America don't really understand what life is like in Central America and in Honduras. So tell us, what is life like for most people living in Honduras?
Life here in Honduras, it is quite different of North America. Here in Honduras, as you say, education is a big problem. Not all the kids are able to finish high school, and even less kids are able to finish college. Also, here in Honduras, the development is not really accurate. It's not every part of the society improving. Is basically some part of the society or a neighborhood or a community is improving, but the rest of the city or the rest of the community is not improving. So what I wanted to say is that life here in Honduras is pretty challenging. There's a challenge for study. There's a challenge for to have a house, and there is even a challenge to drink safety drinkable water. So I will say, like, life here is a challenge, and also I don't want to sound really negative, but the reality for many Hondurans, it is like, doesn't matter how much you work, you are not able to improve your lifestyle in a way that will be significant. So that's how it's life. I will have to say, like, sometimes even college graduates have a really hard life, because here employment is really low, and that people sometimes go illegal as an immigrant going to United States or even Europe, because there is not opportunities. And when you don't have education, when you don't have a good job, and then on top of that you don't have access to water, that's a really challenging life.
Yeah. You mentioned that water is a challenge for people. Tell us, what is the water situation like in in Honduras, and like what percentage of people have clean water to drink?
I will say pretty low percentage. I grew up having water one time a week in my home, and at the home that I grew up, and that was water coming at our house for a few hours. After a few hours, the pipe was there. You can have it open the whole time. There was no water coming. So for me, was a big impact, a cultural impact, when in my first visit at North America, I saw that people do not have pilas. Pila, it is like a big concrete box where we storage water, and we use buckets to take water and little cans to take a shower or to wash dishes. And in North America, people was just opening the hydrant, and it was water coming out from the hydrant 24/7. That was not something that I grew up with, and the situation has been becoming worse and worse. Now at summer, the water, in some areas here in Honduras, they got water once a month, and that's it. That's it. A couple hours a month, and they have to really, not able to even to take a shower every day because there's not enough water. That water is being used just to cook or to drink, and that's not clean water. That's water from a river. That's a water from a spring that sadly is not safety to drink.
Job, how does lack of safe water impact families and communities in Honduras when they don't have clean water to drink?
Yeah, it is impacted negatively. I will have to say, like, a big portion of the income of a family needs to go to purchase water. And for a country where our unemployment or formal employment, it's 52%, that's saying like the impact go straight to the pocket, and people is not getting access to water, but also is getting sick. So that's two big things that are hitting the pocket of the people, because then they get sick, they have to buy medicines, but because the source of the problem is not fixed, they are getting sick on and on and on. So the impact is just a never ending when there is not a solution in a community. I have noticed, like, sometimes people have to move from their community, leave behind their farm, leave behind their house, because there's no water in the community. And then they move to a city or to a bigger community that might have water once a month or once every 2 months. So it is just pretty sad to see that movement in that society, and that is hitting the families. So it is something like we cannot find a solution. Our government, sadly, with so many struggles in our society, is not able to keep up with our needs.
Yeah, that is that paints a really a grim picture for people struggling to get clean water and having to pay a significant portion of their income to buy clean water. That's tough. But I know you have been working a lot. You've been working with water ambassadors and to provide clean water solutions in a number of different parts of Honduras. So tell us a little bit about how you are assisting your fellow Hondurans with clean water solutions.
Well, it has been a privilege since 2018 that we are working with Water Ambassadors Canada, and with many of you that have came to Latin America to help us. And we have been working in different areas. One of the areas it is with bleach makers. Those bleach makers are a amazing solution because sometimes communities have a source of water that is pretty decent clean, but sadly it has a lot of bacteria. With a bleach maker or a chlorinator, we use those systems to clean the water from all the bacteria and protozoa that is in the water. And when the water is coming out from there, the water is coming clean and safety to drink for the families. Other solution that WAC has bring to Honduras, it is filters. So when I saw that bottle of crystal clear water, I was in shock, right? That the water was that clear and so tasty to drink. Well, with the soil filters, we are able to reproduce that at the communities because that filter has some threads inside of a little container that hold all the dirt and all the bacteria in that cylinder, and the water that comes out of the filter is so crystal clear and it tastes so good that families that have that now, they are in shock. And I was talking with one farmer this past week that they have a filter donated by WAC, and he was telling me that when he goes to work at the farm and his neighbor is working, his neighbor sees like the bottle of Coca-Cola, because that's what we use here to take water to the field. Bottle of Coca-Cola, crystal clear. And how, like, did you run out of water? He asked. He said, like, no, look, this is the water. And the water of the neighbor was so dirty, and he could see some material in suspension in the water that was not settling down. And that's the water that they were drinking. So it is shocking for families, even nowadays, when they see a filter working. And it's a privilege that WAC has chose Latin America and other parts of the world to provide those filters. And even though also when we had two hurricanes back to back last year, and people was surrounded of water because it was flooded their homes, they were not able to drink water. That water was dirty. But with the filter and the WAC donate, we were able to have a station where people were able to go and get safety drinkable water. And it was shocking for them also how the river was so dirty, it was getting water so clean from a filter. And the last solution that we use here are the wells. And that really touched my heart because wells were drilled here in Honduras in the 90s by the Japanese government. But they were drilled and a hand pump was installed in those wells, but that was what everything was done. So the community or the locals know that they just pumping, they were able to get water from the well. Well, sadly, the hand pumps that were installed, they were not really good, and nobody was trained to fix those hand pumps or give them a maintenance. So when that get broke, after 2 or 3 years or 5 years that has been working, almost nobody was able to fix it. And that was sad because an entire generation of kids grew up knowing that that thing that was there near to the road, it was just a piece of iron that nobody can move it. So with WAC, what we do is a hunting well. We take a road and we just go looking for wells because there is not a website where we can find those wells. And then when we arrive to those, when we find those wells, people are like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "We want to fix this well." And it's like, "That's not a well." And then when a group of Canadians show up, and we take out that old hand pump and we install a new hand pump, that's amazing because elder people and young people are able to see the water crystal clear is coming out of that old piece of iron that was there that now is a shiny metal hand pump and is working so good. So that's one of the solutions that I like the most, because it gives source of water, and that source is so clean and is for free. And we use hand pumps because with a hand pump, people only what they spend is their muscles, and they are actually building more muscles. And with the electric pump, there are more issues that comes with electric pump, because our electricity, as you notice, sometimes comes and goes, and that can burn electric pump, and then a community has to pay to rebuild an electric pump, and then they have also to pay the electric bill. That's really, really expensive here. So those are the solutions that WAC has bring to address the situation, and that has been really effective for many of us, and we have been able to drink safety drinkable water from all these solutions. So I'm just so thankful.
Joe, that's a wonderful overview of the water situation and the great solutions that you bring, that we work together and partner on to bring to people. And one thing that really struck me there was you mentioned that one of the reasons the wells failed is because there was no thought to maintenance and follow up and backup when those wells were installed in the 1990s. And that's one thing that I'm thankful for Water Ambassadors, is that we put a lot of thought into sustainability and ongoing maintenance and keeping people in contact. They have a contact like yourself in Honduras they can call if their well breaks. So that's great to see. What parts of Honduras do you work with? You were mentioning that there were hurricanes last year. Whereabouts were those hurricanes, and where else do you work in the country?
Yes, we have been working. We have worked in the south part of Honduras. That is the driest part of our country. It is so dry that there is not creeks in communities. Sometimes the only source is a well or a spring. And also we have worked here in the middle. I live in the we call it the belly button of the America continent, because my town is right in the middle. My town is called Siguatepeque, and we have worked here and also in another city close named Comayagua. And that city actually is pretty interesting because it has the oldest clock in a church. Just give me 1 second. We have some little dogs that are here saying hi. We have worked there, and also we have been working in the north part of our country, that is the Sula Valley, that sadly got flooded pretty bad twice in less than 10 days. So we have been working in that area. So we have been basically south center and north part of Honduras. We have been working, but now people is calling us from different regions, and we hope in the Lord that we are able to reach those regions as well, as it is the east and west.
Tell us a little. You do a lot of amazing work for people. You help people in a lot of ways, including water. How do you do what you do? Why do you? What drives you to help people the way you do?
It is a call from the Lord. I will have to tell you, like the dream for many Hondurans, including myself, it is to move to a country that is already developed, like Canada or United States. But then the Lord asked me to be here and serve my people and share the gospel through water projects, as we mentioned, partnering with WAC, but also we do education projects. We go to community, to village. Sometimes the school is falling apart. We raise money for to able to make over the school, and the kids are able to have an appropriate classroom for them. Also, we provide the school kits, so like kids are able to go. Many of Honduran kids, and I bet around the world, do not go to school because they don't have a backpack or they don't have shoes or notebooks. So we use it to provide. Also, other thing that we where we help where we serve the Lord, it is in agriculture. Here in Honduras, the number one profession that we have is farming. So sadly, those farmers are that live with the biggest struggles because they are subsistence farmers. Sometimes they have less than 5 acres, or I will say, I think you use hectares, maybe half of a hectare to grow their products, and if they don't grow, they are not able to eat. And these farmers do not have a vehicle. They live behind the woods, so for them it is so hard to be able to sell their crops. So there's where we show up, because we purchased from them the crop in the price as they would have sold it if they would have been in the city, and then we use that profit from them to improve their lives. Sometimes we help them with the structure in their homes, but most of the time where we help them is with fertilizer. So like the next year they can increase their production. And here in where we are now, we are building a demonstration farm, because many of these farmers, they don't have education, so they are not able to I don't want to say think, or maybe to analyze if their techniques or how they are growing their crops, it is good or bad. Here we want to have techniques where we are going to produce better crops, and we are going to train them here and also share the gospel so like they can have more production. So those are the things that we are where we are serving the Lord.
There are so many needs in Honduras, and what can we as citizens and people in Canada and the United States, how can we help? What can we do to make the situation better for Hondurans, especially with water, with regard to water?
I believe one of the things the first thing that I would like, if you're a believer, is to pray for us so that God can provide what we need. But also, other thing that you could do, it is partnering with organizations like WAC. And that's amazing because WAC give to people like me around the world the opportunity to help the communities. And I have to say, and I need to be honest, there is not a chance that I was going to be able to help communities with water projects if WLC wouldn't have been backing me up to do it. What WAC does, it's amazing, because I cannot go to the government to ask, hey, can you give me some tools to fix this well? They're not going to do anything. And I cannot go to a community to say, hey, pay me for fix your well, because most of the time they don't have even enough to send their kids to school. Other thing that the people in Canada could do is just come. If you like coffee, if you like chocolate, if you like mountains, if you like kids that are going to be smiling at you the whole day, come here, get sweat with us, get wet with us, fixing a well, receive the hugs that I received when we fix a well or when we install a chlorinator or a bleach maker or a filter, those hooks, I receive them, but those hooks are for you, for each of you. So you can come, you can join with WIC, and you can pray. So those are the three things that I believe that you could do.
Job, that's fantastic. Thank you very much.